Hey everyone, welcome to our What is Coaching info session. My name is Melissa Galame. I'm one of your hosts tonight, and I'm so excited to share this with you. So whether you're on with us live or you're watching the replay, I hope that you come in with open hearts and open ears and ready to learn if this opportunity is for you. I'm going to give you a little bit of an introduction into my story, and I'm also going to be introducing you to one of the coaches on our team who joined me last year during the pandemic when life was so uncertain and people, really didn't know what was going on. She was working full time. You'll hear her story, but she is one of the top leaders on our team, and I'm so excited that she's here with us. So just a little bit about my story. I sat on the sidelines for 13 months before I decided to do anything with this business. I was working full time. I had two small children. I had a 3-hour commute round trip to work, and I had done pretty much every fad diet under the sun. So It Works wraps, GNC diet pills, literally you name it, and I did it. I was so desperate to feel comfortable in my skin that I literally I was going to do anything that was out there. But the only thing I wasn't really willing to do is make a big investment into myself. And I had been watching this stranger on social media who kept talking about an opportunity that she had, and she was sharing the ins and outs of her business and her life and going on these trips and earning this additional income and how she was getting ready to walk away from her full-time job. And I was incredibly skeptical. I did not think that anything like this could be real. But I did. I sat on the sidelines for 13 months. And because I watched her, I also watched other women in the business who also were coming home from their jobs, getting amazing results, who were talking about positivity, all of these things. And it blew my mind that this could be real. And so after 13 months of counting myself, I decided to put myself in the middle of this opportunity, make the investment, and go all in. Within my first 6 days, I had lost 6 pounds, which, guys, I told you at the beginning, I literally tried everything, and I was notorious for starting on Monday and then falling off by the weekend. But in that first week, it was like I had more energy. My confidence started to shift. But the best part about it was that there was this incredible community of women who didn't know me, that were all over the United States, that were cheering me on and wanted me to be successful too. And that for me is the secret sauce to this business. So I truly believe that if you're watching this video, you belong here, right? This is such an incredible community filled with people from all different backgrounds. We have stay-at-home moms, we have people who don't have children, we have lawyers, doctors, nurses, teachers, PAs, literally everyone from different walks of life. I had no idea what this business had in store for me, and I'll be perfectly honest, I thought I was going to order my pack and I was going to send it back and get my full refund because I didn't think that it was real. I didn't think it would work for me, and I honestly didn't think I had enough time to dedicate to something like this. But I promise you, when you get in, the energy becomes infectious and you want to be a part of this. I've now been home with my children for 6.5 years. And I will say that I truly feel like God set this opportunity up perfectly for me, because last year was a huge eye opener for me. I don't know about you guys, but with so much uncertainty, there was nothing I felt more certain than being able to have my virtual workouts that kept my emotions in check and my mental health in check. It also provided me with an opportunity to still stay afloat when so many people were losing their jobs. I was able to offer them an opportunity to make an additional income, to spend more time with their families, to set goals and dreams. And I think that's what this opportunity does, is it gives you a big vision for what's possible. I think before Beachbody, I didn't really dream a lot. I think I counted myself out. I thought that, people who had success in their life, it was for people who weren't me. And being a part of this team, that's drastically changed. Like I said, I've been home for 6.5 years with my kids. I've been a coach for almost 8 years. There hasn't been a time in the past 6.5 years where I've had to ask permission to be present for my children. There hasn't been a time where I've had to ask for time off to take them to the doctor. There hasn't been a time where I haven't felt support while going through, lots of things, because in 7.5 years, life has happened. I've been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. I publicly declared my sobriety. I have publicly declared my faith walk, and really getting to know God, and been able to link arms with people who have a similar mission and vision that we do. So you're going to hear all kinds of stuff tonight. But before we do, I'm going to introduce you guys to Michaela. She joined my team last year, and literally she'll tell you how long I invited her. And it's because I knew that if she just trusted me, this could have a big impact on her life, and not just her physical health, because the pictures that I saw on social media, we didn't know each other, we were strangers, but the pictures I saw on social media, I didn't think she had a lot of weight to lose. But I know that this opportunity isn't just about weight loss. It's not just about six-pack abs. It's not just about having a quote unquote beach body. It's about forming relationships and helping people step into the calling of their life of being who they are, and amplify and help them further become healthier, happier versions of themselves. So I'm going to mute myself and let her step in.
All right. Hey, guys. Welcome. My name is Michaela Kane. I have been a Beachbody coach since last December, and my coach, Melissa, had invited me for, I think it was over 2 years, you guys. And this entire 2 years, I sat back and watched her journey, watched her inspiring other women. And like she had mentioned, you don't just follow that one person. After you see so many other people going through a similar journey. And I was that one that was like, oh, I can't do this. This is not me. I'm not, six-pack abs going to be in my sports bra on social media. But let me tell you, this business changes your life, and it starts with your mindset. And this isn't something that you have to have 100% drive when you first join. You just have to have that little mustard seed of motivation and a want and a goal and a vision for you, for what you want in your life, because anything you want, it's literally possible. And I think that some people might find that weird to hear, that by working out, by being part of this community, anything you want is possible, but it's absolutely true. There are so many women who have been able to quit their full-time jobs and be stay-at-home moms, and they're building their life on this business. So what this business has done for me, I have been overweight my entire life, and I had hit, there was, I was made fun of all throughout school. I mean, elementary to high school, I was made fun of. I used to pray to God at night as a kid, you guys. If he would just let me wake up skinny, like I would eat good, right? And of course that doesn't happen. But here's the thing. I dove into a deep addiction. I was using drugs, and I was finally skinny for a little bit. And that made me feel so good. And it's so sad. But at the same time, after I got out of my addiction, I had got up to 220 pounds, and I just literally felt like it was tattooed on my forehead. Like that was the first thing I saw when I looked in the mirror was my weight. And I knew that that's what everybody else saw. So after finally I did lose a little bit of weight, but I was stuck. I was stuck in a rut. I had no motivation, and I just knew I was backsliding. So after finally watching Melissa for 2 years, after her inviting me that entire 2 years, I finally said yes. I finally put my thoughts aside, my limiting beliefs aside, and I paid that $140, and it has changed my life. I am in the best shape I've ever been. My mindset has completely shifted. I don't have that victim mentality anymore that I've had my entire life, because I know what I want is fully available to me, and nothing I do alone. I have a huge team behind me, a huge community behind me, and my motivation is always there. And even when it's not, these women pick me right back up and show me where I need to be. So I started this Beachbody coaching journey. I earned a Success Starter, and that's hitting Success Club for 3 months within your first 6 months of being a coach. And I started a test group today, you guys, a test group for a program that has not even launched. I never thought I would be able to do this. I've heard stories of people doing it, and I was like, I wish I could. Here I am, guys, a normal person coming from a small town who just, I'm literally living my dream right now. So if you've ever felt like you can't do something, or maybe if you just had a little bit more motivation, this is it, you guys. This can take you as far as you want to go. You just have to believe in yourself and say yes. So there's my story, and I'm so glad you guys are here.
So Michaela is just one of the thousands of women that are on our team. And what she failed to mention is that because she believed in herself, she's had so many additional opportunities open in her life. And she's actually, when she says she's living her dream, she actually landed her dream job this year and is working in a career that she's worked really hard for a long time. And it's been such an awesome opportunity to see her just blossom. Her transformation has been incredible, but the internal transformation and just seeing her step into who she's been called to be is really incredible. And I cannot wait to watch her crush this test group. And again, she earned this because she knew this wasn't going to be lost on her, right? She knew that after watching for 2.5 years, she came in and she duplicated what she saw other successful coaches like myself doing and started doing that. And as a result, our company rewarded her, right? So I want to dive into now what we do as coaches. So first thing is work on being your best self. Your job is your journey. So just like Michaela and myself, you're going to pick a program, you're going to stick to it, you're going to follow the nutrition, and you're going to get results. I promise you it's foolproof if you don't detour. Right? You're going to have to make some sacrifices. You can't eat the fast food. You can't go binge drink every weekend. You can't, do those things. But I promise you, those shifts within yourself are going to help you become your best self. You're also going to focus on professional and personal development. And so many people bat their eyes to that. They look the other way and they say, well, that's for crazy people, or I already, do this, whatever story they tell themselves. And I promise you, for me, like I was in a job where I had a leadership role where personal development and professional development was pushed on me. It wasn't something I enjoyed. I thought it was something that, you know, just it wasn't worth my time until I found a book, and forgive my language, but it's called You Are a Badass. And it was like the author was speaking directly to me. And I knew in listening to that book, because I would listen in my car on the way to work, and I listened to that book 3 times because it just made me feel so good about where I was going and that I could change my story and that I could break the cycle of addiction and I could, find internal peace. And I didn't have to be a victim of my circumstance, and I could become the very best version of Melissa. I started to believe it every single day. And now I recommend that book among many others to people because what our minds believe, we achieve, right? It's kind of like whatever you focus on comes to life. So you want to focus on positive things. The other thing is the nutrition piece of it. So many people do not realize that your nutrition is 80% of your results. We get to do this as our job. We're compensated to help other people. We get to bridge the gap. What do I mean by that? So just like Michaela watched me and she wasn't sure if she could do that, she joined my team and she was never alone. She never had to figure this out on her own. She never had to do any of those things. That's what we do in our groups, in our community. I do as a coach is we will mentor you into getting the results you want, into achieving the goals that you want. If you want to supplement your income, we have the tools and the resources to do so. Okay. And then you're sharing the tools. So that's like me going out and saying, Michaela, hey, I have this amazing group that's going on. I'd love to share it with you. Have you ever thought about what I'm doing? Because so many people are looking for an opportunity. They just don't realize that it's available. It's so simple, it's silly, and so many people count themselves out. If you look over at the sidebar here, you'll see other women from our team who have got incredible results, whether they were in test groups or they just joined and, started a 21-day program or a 60, 90, 100-day program. I promise you, this can be your story as well. Even if you feel like you've done everything, even if you feel like you've tried the nutrition plans before and it just didn't work for you, it works if you work for it. Okay. So my question for you tonight is, what would an extra income do for your family? There's lots of different ways for you to earn, and I don't want to overwhelm you with that, but I do want to let you know that as soon as you enroll, you could make back your investment by helping 3 people, right? Helping them get started the exact same way that you did with a challenge pack. You're going to be compensated $50. Do that with 3 people, that's $150. Most challenge packs are $140 to $160. If you join this week, we actually have an amazing flash sale. We're going to be entered into raffles, words are hard, to be able to get Nikes or Fitbits or gift cards, whatever that looks like. But over time, your compensation starts to build. So it's not a front loaded business where we're just going to give you thousands of dollars. You do have to work for it, but Michaela's been with me now, for months. And every time that her order comes through, my team earns volume. I'm not going to, again, overwhelm you with what that means tonight, but volume equals income in the Beachbody world. You also have retail sales. We now have something called Body, which is a new platform. We're compensated in many different ways, and we have a whole training on that, as well as you can check out our FAQ in the back office. Obviously, not everyone is guaranteed success. Everyone's skill set is different and the efforts that they put in there. But I want to cover some of the misconceptions and myths that come along with this. So the first one is, I don't want to be salesy. Good thing is, we don't want you to be salesy either. I ask my people who tell me that, well, I just don't want to be salesy, is how long have you been following me? They'll tell me. I'm like, have you ever felt like I was trying to sell you something? No. Perfect. I'm never going to ask you to do that. We do have products that people purchase, but so does Target, so does Macy's, so does Nordstrom's, so does whatever store you go to, right? And you never walk in there saying, "Oh, I hope nobody tries to sell me anything," right? People need a solution, and we're here to offer that. I'm not at my fitness goal. Also, same. I wasn't at my fitness goal when I got started. I'm still not currently in the best shape of my life, because sometimes we have seasons, right? That doesn't matter. If I was joining this simply because I wanted to have 6-pack abs, I would have failed a really long time ago. Fitness is a mindset and a mentality. I have friends who have 6-pack abs and they look incredible. I have other friends who don't necessarily have those goals, but they're working continuously and showing up. So please don't count yourself out because of a story that you're forming on your own. The other thing is, I don't have a lot of time. Again, also same. Both Michaela and I, we both have the same 24 hours. She works full time and she's actually a teacher. So she doesn't have, a block of her day that is hers, that she can't be on her phone. She can't be working. She can't get on calls, things like that. So she has to work this in the small pockets of the day. I personally still get up at 5:30 in the morning and work this business because it's tailored around my kids' schedule. I did have to make sacrifices, especially when I first started this business, to get to where I wanted to go. But that's anything in life. If there's something that you want, you'll figure it out. I promise you. The other thing is, people ask themselves, like, who am I to motivate someone? My story is filled with lots of baggage, skeletons in my closet, failures. On paper, people would have counted me out. But the cool thing is that I know I serve a God that never counts me out. And I know that my testimony can serve other people. It's too expensive. That's the next objection that we get. Guys, that's all a matter of perception. For me, I had to take a look at what I was spending my money on and go and I added it up and I was like, wow, I'm spending money on alcohol and nails and shopping and all these things, fast food, Red Bulls. And it was far more expensive than the $140 investment. And so I was like, okay, if I could cut out my coffee and fast food this month, I bet I could afford it. And I did, right? So sometimes it's just a shift in your perspective to see where you're really at. Tell me the last time you went to Target and dropped $160. Guilty, right? Actually, a couple times a month for me. So that's the case for most people. Or the last time that you went to the hair salon, or if you live in the great state of California, there's lots of things that are very expensive that we don't necessarily quote unquote need, but we indulge in because we want it, right? I wanted to change my life. I wanted to feel more comfortable in my skin. I wanted something better. So I knew I needed to make that sacrifice of the investment, and it wasn't too expensive. I just had to shift my perspective. So that's some food for thought for you or anyone who you might share this with. The other one is I don't have spouse support. So this isn't one that I necessarily can speak to because my husband's been my biggest cheerleader since the beginning, which I'm incredibly grateful for. But I've worked with a lot of women who don't have that spouse support. And my number one tip is go prove it to them. Prove to them that you'll stick to this. Prove to them that you can be compensated for this. Because when you show them the money, I promise you 9 times out of 10, it piques their interest. Also, communicating your goals with them and including them in it, right? Maybe asking them, saying, hey, I really want to do this and I need somebody to help me stay accountable. What better person than you for the next 30 days to do this? My husband didn't jump on board with that, but he did drink Shakeology. And within the first 40 days, he was down 16 pounds and he was able to get off of his blood pressure medication. His dad died at 36 years old. So he didn't know his dad. For me, that was huge, right? My husband was in his mid 30s and was able to get off blood pressure medication. That was like I didn't care what we had to do. We were going to drink Shakeology for the rest of our lives. So really just communicating and then maybe talking to other people on our team who have spouses who weren't on board and now are, or who have had transformations, things like that. Get them on one of our calls. The other one is I don't have a big following. Guys, when I joined, I had very little social media and I hardly posted. And when I did, it was like funny memes or sometimes like passive aggressive posts. Just there wasn't anything that I was really posting that was getting people's attention. And it was mostly friends from like middle school, high school, coworkers, and like family. So I promise you that can't be an excuse because I've continued to build my platform and I've made some of my very best friends because of this business and because of the following. And then the final one is, isn't it a pyramid scheme now? I'm actually not going to give this a lot because I feel like it's 2021. Like everybody's looking for a side hustle or some sort of income, and pyramid schemes are illegal. Look them up. I promise you, this is far from that. Okay. So what now? What are my best options? Why start now? What are my next steps? So actually this week we are hosting a flash sale. This is something we only do a couple times a quarter, and you're not only going to save money on our best packs, but you're also going to get entered into raffles. We also just launched a bike. We just launched a new platform called Body, which is an interactive workout platform. So think to yourself like scheduling a class at the gym and having an instructor critique you. You're in the screen with other people. I will tell you, I don't work out as hard as I do when I'm on a body screen. And actually, it keeps me accountable. Like tomorrow morning, I'm thinking I'm going to schedule a 5 or 6 a.m. class. So that gets me up. I'm worked out, ready for the day, all the things, right? Plus, we have challenge packs where you get access for an entire year to our digital platform. Think Netflix of fitness plus nutrition, and you get a 30-day supply of either our superfood shakes or our performance line. And it's really just the best solution when individually it would cost you thousands of dollars. I promise you, you're going to get amazing savings. So whatever coach has sent this to you, make sure you check with them for the best option for you. And if you order this week, you absolutely have to get in on the flash sale. Okay. So what now? What's coaching? How do you get started? What's the investment? So I just covered basically all of that. You're going to send a message to your coach and say, hey, I just watched the video. Here are my questions. And then again, they're going to talk to you about what the best investment is for you to get started. Normally it's anywhere from $140 to $200, depending on that. But again, you're not obligated to any monthly charges. Yes, with our coaching fee, there is a business fee. However, that takes care of all your customer service, all of your business fees, all of the shipping, things like that. Like the customer service alone that you don't have to deal with that when people have an issue is like priceless, right? So really just thinking about what is the investment and why do you want to make it? Because for me, I would pay $140 10 times over for the rest of my life because it's had such a huge impact on my life. It's connected me with so many women that I would never know. It's given my husband and my kids the wife and mom that they deserve. It's allowed me to break the chains that I was carrying for such a long time. And now I get to mentor women to believe in themselves and to cultivate friendships and to step into who they were called to be. So all those big dreams that you have that you thought, I just don't have enough time. Maybe when the kids are gone. How are we ever going to afford this? I promise you, those things can come to life. but you have to get really clear on what you want and what you're willing to do it. But I promise you, they're totally possible with a whole lot of work and a whole lot of sacrifice. You can do anything you set your mind to. If it's just feeling confident in your clothes, we can help you. If it's coming home to your kids and building a substantial income, we can do that. If it's taking family vacations on Beachbody's dime, we got you. If it's breaking depression, if it's restoring marriages, if it's putting a savings, if it's getting a down payment for a home, we have that. It's all in your hands. And I promise you, there's nothing special about us other than we leaned into this opportunity and we don't give up when things get hard. It's blessed my life in so many ways. I could be on this call for the rest of the night, but we promise to keep it short and sweet. And I want you just to really think about what is the worst thing that could happen. What if you went all in? What if the only thing you got out of this was new friendships and feeling confident in your skin and more energy and better sleep? What if that was the worst thing that happened? But what if you went all in and you started to be able to afford the things that you would never be able to? You started to wear a bathing suit and your confidence increased, or you built muscle that you never thought you could, or you got off medication that you never thought you would. What if you built your dream home? What if you relocated your family? What if you walked away or started a career of your dreams because you started to believe in yourself? I promise you, this business is for those who want it, not for lucky people. It's for people who join us, link arms with us, and say, I don't know what this is about, but I need to be a part of it. Please teach me. So I hope tonight that somehow we inspired you and we encourage you to link arms with us, because this for me has been the best investment I've ever made. And I promise you, it's only getting better. We are partnered with the most incredible company that has such a big vision. And I'm just really, really grateful that I get to do life with people like the ladies on this call. And my last ask is that the person that sends you this call or that invited you to this, thank them, because they must think something really highly of you that they invited you to be a part of this. Because if somebody didn't believe in me first, my life would look so much different. So I hope you guys have an incredible evening, and thank you for joining us tonight.